Okay, that's okay. I think Chinapyu. I think we start the class. Okay, so today's lessons about magnetic field. This is one of the longest topic. This is one of the longest topic, and very useful for our daily life. Okay. I think out of the electric field, gravitational field, and magnetic field, magnetic field is a lot of uses. Okay, we don't have magnetic field. I think we will be lots of trouble. No gravitational field, no satellite, no telecommunication. No magnetic field means what's the problem we're going to face? What are the things that works based on magnetic field?
Our phones, our
phones, yeah, phones. Okay, anything else? Main one. Anyone know? Too many things. Your motor, your generator, your hard disk, all work based on magnetic field. Okay, mainly the motor and generator. Okay, I don't know whether you believe, whether you come across or not, all the type of energy from hydroelectric dam, from nuclear and everything. At the end, you need to pass through the magnetic field to generate electricity. Okay, we need a generator one. The water going to turn the turbine going to, what do you call, interact with magnetic field and it produces electric field. So no magnetic field means no generator, no motor. No generator, no motor means you don't have electricity, you don't have motor. Don't have motor means you don't have fan, you don't have electric cars, a lot of things lah. A lot of things works based on motors. Okay, so and no hard disk. Okay, so very useful field, magnetic field. Okay, so these are the substances we're going to learn, but I don't want to go through that. You can read later. Okay, the history of magnetism. Okay, magnetism is found 200 BC, 2000 BC, before Christ. A Greek shepherd named Magnus. The nail was stick on his shoes, a rock, and later he found that he called it as a magnetism, magnet. And yeah, was found in abundance in Magnesia in northern Greece. It is believed that the world magnet and magnetism originated from there. Okay, of course, Chinese use 2000 BC magnets for a compass, acting as a compass. And even Einstein was begin his research. He loved science because of magnetism, and his father gave him a compass. It's really magnified. He feels so interested seeing the needle is moving and directed to the direction of the Earth magnetic field. Okay, so okay, class. I think please shut down the mic, so that never interfere. Okay, so if you have any question, you can on the mic, and you can ask me questions if you have any. Okay, the magnets are materials that attract certain types of material. Only certain types of material are attracted by magnetic field. We call ferromagnetic substance, such as iron, nickel, and cobalt. Copper and many other substances are non-magnetic field. Copper, anything else not magnetic field? Aluminium, they are not ferromagnetic substance. Iron, nickel, and cobalt are ferromagnetic substance attracted by magnetic field. Okay, so magnetic materials have their magnetic moments, electron spins align. So yeah, they say every atoms inside has its own magnetic field, like a tiny little bar magnet. Okay, so magnetic electron spins align into the not-seeking poles. Yeah, so non-magnetic, the atoms has magnetic fields, but they are not in what do you call electron spins not aligned. Okay, so you don't feel the magnetism yet. Okay, but this, yeah, non-magnetic materials magnetic, the atoms all magnetic field are aligned, So they create a magnetic field in the same direction, so can feel the effect. Okay. So yeah, dropping a permanent magnet may cause it to lose the magnetism, and electron spins become non-aligned. Okay. So you want to make a magnet to lose its magnetism. First thing, you can drop it frequently, or you can put it into a AC current coil, a coil, a coil which carries AC current. Put this magnet inside, so the magnet will loses its magnetism. Okay, and when the current moving in the opposite direction frequently, the atoms become not aligned, so it loses magnetism. So two ways you can make a magnet to lose magnetism: by dropping, another one by putting the magnet inside a AC coil, a coil which has a alternating current. Okay. Okay, so you have a magnet. Let's say you break into three pieces, you're going to create the field at the opposite direction. So one piece by itself going to become a dipole. You have a north pole and south pole by itself. When we break the magnet into two, the new ends of acquire opposite poles. The magnet will never exist as just a north pole or south pole. Okay, so far we never found that magnet with a monopole. Monopole means only one pole is there. No side. So far we never found one. All are dipoles for magnet. Electric field is, we have monopoles. Monopoles means only positive charge. Monopoles exist for electric field and also gravitational field. For magnetic field, we always dipole, north and south. Okay, so why always north-south? A free moving magnet will always align itself in the north-south direction. Why? Anyone? Why you hang a magnet? Like, let's say you hang a magnet. You take a, let's say you take a retort stand. You have a retort stand. Sorry. So let's say you have a retort stand. You have a retort stand. At the retort stand, you hang a thread. You hang a magnet bar. And the magnet bar going to align to the Earth magnetic field. It's going to change direction until it aligns to the Earth magnetic field, north south. Why? Okay, why? Anyone? Because why the magnet going to the magnet bar going to align to the Earth magnet align to the north south of the Earth magnetic field, north south pole? Because of course the Earth has its own magnetic field. It has its own magnetic field. So north to south. So Earth has its own magnetic field. So you put a magnetic bar, the magnetic bar going to align to the Earth magnetic field. Okay. For example, if you put a magnet here, the magnet going to align. It will be to the direction of the magnetic field. So here will be north, here will be south. Okay. So yeah, but remember, this is the north pole, this is the south pole. A bar magnet hung freely will always align itself to the north-south direction. This is because the Earth is a giant magnet. Although they say it's a giant magnet, the strength of the magnetic field of the Earth is very weak, but the size is big. It's a big size, but the strength is still weak. Okay, the magnetic field axis on the Earth is tilted 11 degrees from the axis of rotation of spin. Magnetic field. Okay, so what is magnetic field? Okay, recall back. What is electric field? What is electric field? A region where a charged particle experience force. What is gravitational field? A region where mass objects experience force. What is magnetic field? So magnetic field is a little complex one. Magnetic field is a region of space where a moving charge. You can't say it only charge. You have to say it, a moving charge. A moving charge moving obliquely. Obliquely means moving up and down, kind of like not straight line, moving up and down diagonally. It must cut the magnetic field line. You have the magnetic field line. Moving charge which move obliquely will experience some force, magnetic force. That called magnetic field. Magnetic field is a region of space where a moving charge a charge moving obliquely experience force. So keyword is in A levels, they not really, the obliquely was given mark. You add is good, but charge, moving charge is one mark. Moving charge experience force, magnetic force. Electric field, the charge, whether it's moving or not moving, it will experience a force. But magnetic field, the charge have to move to experience a force. The magnetic field is a little gentleman. If the charge is never moved, it don't exert force. If the charge move and cuts the magnetic field line, then it exerts a force. Okay. So this the two picture here, you can see that the electron beam is if you put a magnet nearby, the electron beam will be deflected to one direction because of what? Because electron is a charged particle, moving charged particle, will experience force due to the field. A deflection of beam of charge. The old TV, you know, the TV, the old one, not the flat screen, the old one made of electron gun. Okay, the electron was struck on the screen. Actually, the old TV, the tube. So when you put a magnet at the side, the electron will be attracted to the magnet, so the image will be distorted. The image will be distorted. Distortion of a TV image. This is for the old TV, not the LED. Okay, so the magnetic field lines. Now, what you need to know is the pattern. You must draw pattern. In exam, they'll ask you to draw pattern. What pattern they're going to ask you to draw? They're going to ask you to draw three patterns. Magnetic field lines are used to represent the magnetic field, as like the electric field also. The magnetic field lines created dipoles by convention. Magnetic field lines are leave the North Pole. Of course, you know that. The magnetic field line always leave the North Pole and reach the South Pole. North Pole going out, South Pole going in. And separation of the line tells the strength of the field, magnetic field. Same like electric field and gravitational field. The strength of the field is determined by the separation of the field line, and the field line cannot cross. Okay, and the field line when come out from the surface, the field line must be 90 degrees from the surface. Okay, have to be 90 degrees from the surface. When it comes out, the field line must be 90 degrees from the surface. When landed another surface, it must reach 90 degrees to the surface. Okay. So tracing magnetic field line. How do you get a magnetic field line for a bar magnet? You learned this in O levels or SPM, right? By using iron fillings. Okay, you put iron fillings, put a lot of iron fillings on a piece of paper. Okay, put a magnet, put a magnet on top of the magnet. Place a paper, then pour some iron fillings. Then you tap at the side. You just tap at the side. The iron filling is going to make the pattern of the magnetic field, right? Okay, I think you learned this in all levels. So iron filling is used to find the pattern of the magnetic field. Okay, iron filling to show the line pattern and the compass to show the direction. Yeah. So the pattern is by the iron filling. You want to know which direction, which is North Pole and South Pole. We use a compass. We use a compass. How do we use a compass? We place a compass at one corner. Okay, maybe to the North Pole, let's say. So the compass will show a direction. Then what do you do? At the tip of the needle, the tip of the needle marked by using a pencil, a dot. Then we shift the compass again beside the tip, beside the dot, and we see the new location of the needle. Then we add the dot, and we can create the direction of the field. Okay, the direction of the field. So compass and the iron filling can be used to detect the pattern and also the direction of the field. Okay, yeah, so you know the pattern here. More closer lines, more stronger the field, more away the field is get bigger. Yeah, stronger field at the poles and weaker field at the side. The field line is separated very far. Dense field lines indicate strong field. Yeah, the sparse field lines, the one for away is a weak field. Okay, yeah. Can you create magnet? How do you get magnet? By having a permanent magnet, Another one is we can man-made magnet. We can make a magnet by using current carrying conductor. Current carrying conductor. We use a direct current. Okay. We use a DC with a solenoid. We have a coil of wire and put maybe a steel or iron. A wire, not a steel, or maybe iron or what. We can put it here. So you direct a direct current, it will tend to become magnet. Okay, it magnetized. Current carrying current can become magnetized. Okay, by using a current. So current carrying conductor can produce a magnetic field. Okay, man-made. So permanent magnet, current carrying conductor by current carrying conductor. This is called electromagnet. The second one is electromagnet. Okay, tell me which is more useful for you for us. Permanent magnet, actually both are useful, but which is more useful? Permanent magnet or electromagnet? Which is more useful?
Electromagnet.
Electromagnet. Why? Two reasons. Anyone? Why two? What is the two reasons electromagnet is more useful for us? Because men want to control it. So electromagnet, the magnetic field can be easily magnetized. Electromagnet can be easily magnetized, can be easily demagnetized. That's why the electromagnet is more useful. When you want the magnetic field, you just on the current, it becomes electromagnet. So easily magnetized, okay, and easily demagnetized. Another thing is electromagnet, the strength can be controlled by us, okay. Permanent magnet, the strength cannot be controlled. Okay, the current carrying conductor, electromagnetic, the strength can be controlled by us by just adjusting with the current. Okay, so electromagnet more useful. Okay, bar magnet, north to south pole, and this is another pattern. Okay, I believe you have crossed this. Okay, so north south, the field in between is like a straight line, at the side is a curving. If north north, the field line is this is the pattern. Center, the field is 0. And center is field 0 for north north. Remember the patterns. Okay, although there are many different type of pattern for magnetic field, the three pattern you have to remember is this one of them. This is the first one. Okay, current carrying conductor. Current is carrying a conductor carries a current upwards. How the magnetic field line is going to produce on the paper here? So we use a technique called right hand grip rule. Remember, right hand grip rule. Use right hand grip rule. So right hand grip rule is used. So you look at this diagram. Your thumb is pointing the direction of the current, and the finger tells you the direction of the magnetic field. Which direction the magnetic field is moving. So in this case, the magnetic field is moving which direction? Anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. So current is your thumb, and the finger direction tells the direction of the magnetic field. Direction of the current and direction of the finger indicates the concentric magnetic field line. So it's going to be a circular magnetic field. This pattern you have to know. Okay. Okay. This diagram got one mistake. There is one mistake. In past years, if they ask you to draw the pattern on the current carrying conductor like this, if you draw like this, the circle as shown here, the anti-clockwise and clockwise, if they give 2 marks, you only get 1 mark. You lose another 1 mark. Why you lose another 1 mark? Anyone? What's the mistake in these two diagrams?
The arrow is only one side.
The arrow is one side. No. Yeah, it's a minor problem, but you will still get mark. There is one major problem. Anyone? The separation. Okay, the separation must increase. When the field get further, the field get weaker, right? So what is the indication that the field get weaker? The field lines should be separated even further one. So that's the mistake here. We must draw the distance. The first distance, let's say, is 1 centimeter, means the second separation may be 1.5 centimeter. The third separation may be 2 centimeter. The fourth separation must be 2.5 centimeter or 3 centimeter. Must be further. Then it's a correct pattern. That means the first round you draw like this. Second round you draw like this. The third round, you have to draw further away. Remember, clear separation differences. So the D1, D2, the D2 must be greater than D1. So put in your mind when you draw the pattern. Make sure the separation is greater. That's given 1 mark. Okay. So remember. Okay, any question from this slide? So you use right-hand grip rule. Right-hand grip rule to identify the direction of the magnetic field. The thumb is current, your finger is the direction of the magnetic field. This one pattern you have to remember in exam. Okay. Second pattern you have to remember, this one coil. This second pattern you have to remember. Coil. Current goes up, current comes down. How the magnetic field on this coil? Okay. So use a right-hand grip rule. Use the right-hand grip rule. Here current is going up. Use your right-hand grip rule. So the finger going to move in anti-clockwise direction. So the field all will be anti-clockwise direction. It's a circular, and you see the separation should increase. Should increase the separation. Okay, same thing when the coil comes here to the right here. Use the right-hand grip rule. Point the thumb downwards. Then the field is going to be clockwise. Here the field going to be clockwise. So this is the pattern produced by a coil. Okay, a coil. The field lines cannot overlap. Okay, the field lines cannot overlap. Okay. So yeah, this is the second pattern you have to remember. Magnetic field due to current in a coil, on coil. Okay, the most important field is the field produced by a solenoid. Okay, what is a solenoid? A coil of wire. Coil of wire is a solenoid. Okay, solenoid. So this is a coil of wire, and I think here, how do you find which side is a north pole, which side is a north south pole? We again use a right-hand grip rule. Okay, we use the right-hand grip rule to identify which side is the north pole. Okay, but here we modify the right-hand grip rule now. Okay, so I go back to the picture. Okay, last time I told you the thumb is the current and the finger is your magnetic field. But for the solenoid, it's going to be different. For the case of solenoid, remember, for the case of solenoid, the thumb is actually pointing the north pole, where the north pole lies. The thumb points the north pole, or in other words, thumb points the direction of the field line, north pole, and the finger actually tells the direction of the current flow, in the coil. Okay, please remember, the right-hand grip is used for solenoid, but the thumb is the north pole direction, and the grip is the direction of the current. Okay, yeah, for the current carrying conductor, the thumb was current, and the finger direction is the magnetic field. But for solenoid, it's the other way around. The thumb is the magnetic field, pointing the north pole. The finger is your current. Okay. So we go back to the solenoid. So you see this diagram, the side diagram, which side? Okay, you see this diagram, the first diagram here, the solenoid first diagram here. Okay, you see the current is flowing which direction? It's clockwise. So please put your fingers surrounding it. Your finger should point to the direction of the current. Your finger, I think, very bad in drawing. So your finger should be this way, and your thumb is pointing that direction. So that will be your north pole. Here will be your south pole. Okay, your finger should be this way, this direction. So when you hold it, must be right hand. Right hand. Don't ever go for left hand. Then completely wrong. It's right hand grip rule. Okay. So you see the directions here. The second diagram here. Have a look. So recall back. Dot cross. Dot means current leave the page, coming out of the page or going into the page. Your O levels SPM. Dot means
Dot is
coming out of the page. My current is coming out of the page. Cross means going into the page. This int is out. Remember. So here, see, down is dot, up is cross. That means your finger must be pointing from dot to cross. This is your fingers. This is your fingers. Your fingers must be like this. Your thumb going to point this way. So this is going to be a north pole. And the left is going to be the north pole. Right going to be a south pole. So detect the field line. So the third diagram tells the complete field line. So you see the magnet, you see the battery here, the battery down here. The battery is directed to the right. So the current is moving upwards in the front path. The current is all moving upwards. So please place your finger, your right hand grip rule. Use your right hand. Tell me the left or the right is north pole. Left or the right north pole. The front part current now are moving upwards. Okay, the front all current are moving upwards. So your finger must point where? Your finger all must pointing upwards here. Your finger all must be upwards. The finger must pointing to the direction of the current. So which direction of thumb going to be located? The thumb going to be located this way, right? To the left. So your left going to be the north pole. Your right going to be the south pole. Okay. So just let me test this one question. Okay, so let's say you have a battery here. Okay, you have a coil, a bar magnet here. Okay, so you put a magnetic field coil like this. You put a coil like this, and it's coming out. Okay. Okay, tell me which one is north pole? 1 or 2 is a north pole. Use the right hand grip rule. Check. Is it 1 or 2 north pole?
1.
1. So you have to check the current. The current is flowing up. So current front flowing up at the front. So you put your finger now. Your direction of the finger should be what? Your direction of the finger should be upwards. You must point your finger upwards. And your thumb, I think, going to be this way. This is your end actually. So this is going to be north pole. This is your south pole. Okay, so you need to identify which direction is north pole and south pole by using a right hand grip rule. Okay, your thumb is always your magnetic field which pointing the north pole. Your finger is the current now, direction of the current. Okay. Okay, so these are the 3 patterns you have to remember: solenoid, coil, the current carrying conductor, just one bar, one conductor. The 3 fields you have to remember. Okay, so the final pattern, the pattern you have to remember is the first one. Sorry, which one? You have to remember the first one. You have to remember the current carrying conductor, 1 coil, and this is the 1 coil. These 3. 1, 2, 3. You have to remember. The other, I think the B is actually same as the solenoid. The other pattern not really important. Okay. Okay, so that's the first part. This is a long topic. Okay. So if you go to this Word file, we're done with the first concept of magnetic field. So what is magnetic field is given there. There is a uniform field and non-uniform field. Uniform field means you must draw a diagram to show how the uniform field looks like. Okay, uniform field is like last time. How's uniform field means? Uniform field means sorry. Okay, uniform field means. Okay, uniform field means the field line must be parallel. The field line must be parallel, equidistance. The distance is this here, D, here must be D. Then it's a uniform field. Non-uniform field means the field line must be get closer. Then it's a non-uniform field. Okay. Then this is the right hand grip rule. Here you need to draw the 3 pattern later. Give a try. Try to draw the 3 pattern. Okay, the long wire, which is already here, and circular coil and solenoid you have to know. Okay. Okay, so that's the part 1. Okay. So now let's we go to part 2. The part 2, all together, I think there are 5 parts. This is now we go into the second one. So magnetic field is done, the introduction. Now we go for more to electromagnetism. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is the existence of force now. Force on a current carrying conductor. Okay, so we skip this. Okay, so again, recall back, what is magnetic field? It's a region of space where a charge experiences force. Okay, a current carrying conductor has electrical charge running through it. Hence, when placed in a magnetic field, will experience a magnetic force. Yes, you see this diagram. You see this diagram. There is a current carrying conductor. The one current carrying conductor is there. The current carrying conductor. When you place external magnetic field surrounding it, the second one, the one already have its own magnetic field. It already have its own magnetic field surrounding it. Okay, it has own magnetic field surrounding it, and you put another magnetic field to the current carrying conductor. Two magnetic field interacts, so provide a force. It create a force. Okay, so force is produced when you give magnetic field and current. When there is a current and magnetic field, force will be created. Okay, force will be created. Yeah. So when B and magnetic field current is there, you get force. This is how the fundamental for motor. Motor. You know, you believe like a motor, your toy car or your electric car motors. The motor, what you supply into the motor, you supply current. You give current. You connect the motor to the power supply. So current. You supply current. So I is there. But inside the motor, there is magnetic field inside the motor. So magnetic field and current interact, produces a turning effect. Force. Force is created. Okay. So this is very good news for us. By using magnetic field and current, we can get force. We can get movement. We can make the thing move by using current and magnetic field. It's a big discovery for us. A very useful discovery. We can create motor. Okay. So that's the thing. When there is a magnetic current carrying conductor placed in an external magnetic field, a force is created. Okay, the force creation happens. Which direction the force going to act? Use Fleming left-hand rule, right? Recall back Fleming left-hand rule. Okay, I go to the picture. Yeah, Fleming left-hand rule. Let me go back to the. I'll go back to the earlier slide, but before that, let me understand the Fleming left-hand rule. So recall back your Fleming left-hand rule. Your thumb points the force. Your index finger is B. The middle finger is current I. Okay, so FBI. Remember, Fleming left-hand rule. Direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so FBI. You see this diagram here. The direction of the field line is you must point the index finger, the direction of the field line. Your thumb is the force and the current is coming up. Okay, we go back. We try to implement this to the earlier diagram. Okay, earlier diagram. Yeah. So you tell me, do you realize the current should be upwards? Not to B. Please use your finger now. North to south is your index finger. Your index finger must be pointed like this way, north to south. Okay, north to south. Here, your current is going which way? The current is coming out this way. So your middle finger must point outward this way. Then your thumb going to point upwards. So your force is upwards. Okay, so index finger to the right, your middle finger is coming out of the page, your thumb going to point upwards. So that's the direction of the force. Direction of the force. Okay, I believe you learned this in your O levels, FBI, the direction of the force. But now what you're going to learn in A levels is how much is this force? What is the magnitude of this force? Now a formula was going to be introduced. The formula is F equals to BIL sine theta. This is the formula to find the magnitude of the force now. Okay, you don't need to know the derivation. You need to accept it. It's BIL sine theta. Okay. Normally, the conductor will placed perpendicular like this. You see this diagram. The conductor normally is perpendicular. Perpendicular to the magnetic field means, okay, the B is the magnetic field strength, and I is the current flow in the conductor, and L is the length of the conductor in the magnetic field. Okay, length got problem. Length. Remember, you have a conductor like this. Okay, let's say the conductor is 2 meters, but the magnetic field you applied only in the region of 1 meter of length. Then the length you're supposed to use here only 1 meter. So remember, the length here is the length within the magnetic field to be used to calculate the force. Okay, not the entire length of the object. Okay, so if it's 90 degrees, the angle is we take is theta as 90. Okay, at 90 degrees. So sine 90 becomes 0, so 1 ampere. But if the theta is like this in this diagram, diagram 2, the theta is like this, the direction of the current and the direct magnetic field as an angle of theta, you must make this current perpendicular. You must make this current to be perpendicular. Tell me, the L you have to resolve vertically. You resolve vertically. When you resolve vertically, you open this angle. You open the theta. So when you open the theta, it's going to be sine theta. It's going to be sine theta. So F equals to BIL sine theta. Theta is what? Angle between the current and the magnetic field strength. That's your angle. So theta. And the theta is 0. When the direction of the current is like this, horizontal, and the magnetic field also horizontal, the force become how much? The force become 0. No force. I told you magnetic field is a little gentleman. If the current does not cut the magnetic field line, no force will be exerted on the object. So this is the new formula. The force, how do you find the magnitude of the force? F equals to BIL sine theta. The force expressed by a current carrying conductor. Okay, so F is the force on a conductor, B is the magnetic field strength, I is the current flow through the conductor, L is the length, perpendicular length, like say perpendicular length within the magnetic field, and the angle is angle between the current and the magnetic field. Any question from this slide? So hope you can understand. Okay, we try to strengthen this knowledge to more example. Okay, I already show you the Fleming left-hand rule. Now, yes. So F equals to BIL. F equals to BIL. Magnetic flux density. The current. Current is moving this way. Okay. So current is moving this way. Current is moving this way. There is a mistake in this diagram. Okay, there is a mistake in this diagram. The diagram is actually not wrong, but I want to use for the battery. Let's say you apply a battery this way. Okay, I apply a battery this way, connected. Okay, then the current direction is correct. Okay, current direction is correct. Current going to move here and here, right? Okay, the magnetic field is acting downwards. What is the mistake in this diagram? Anyone? If I connect this battery, I want you to connect a battery. Please try to connect a battery as shown here. Okay, if I connect the battery like this, there is one mistake arises in this diagram. What's the mistake? Anyone? Yeah. What's the mistake? The mistake is the direction of the force is wrong. The direction of the force is not to this way. The direction of the force must be the opposite way, this way. This is your direction of force. Why? You check the PQ, you check the PQ conductor, use Fleming left-hand rule. Current flow from P to Q or Q to P. You see the current is flowing this way. Okay. So current here also like, sorry, I made a mistake here. The diagram is, I think, a little awkward. Okay, correct. Actually, the force is correct. If I add a battery here, the force is correct. If I connect the battery like this, current will flow from P to Q or Q to P. If the battery is connected here, so current flow here, the current will flow from Q to P, right? Current will flow from Q to P. So the force will be to the as shown in the diagram. So it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Okay, now, so F equals to BIL. F equals to BIL. We put sine theta, the theta is 90. So we put it, ignore the sign. So because here it placed 90 degrees. 90 degrees, the current and the magnetic field is 90 degrees. The current and the magnetic field is 90 degrees. So sine theta is ignored. So from here, we define the magnetic field strength. So what is magnetic field strength defined as? Okay, before we go for magnetic field strength, what is electric field strength defined as? Force per unit positive test charge. What is gravitational field defined as? Gravitational field strength. Force per unit mass. So all the field, force divided by something, right? Force per unit divided by charge for electric field, force divided by per unit mass for gravity. But magnetic field is a little different. Magnetic field strength is force per unit current per unit length. That's magnetic field strength. So magnetic field strength, or another name, magnetic flux density, got two names, magnetic field strength and magnetic flux density. Don't get confused as two names, but it's meant to be the same thing. B, the symbol is B, is defined as the force experienced by a conductor, a unit length of conductor carries a unit current, 1 ampere current, placed perpendicular to the field. You must say placed perpendicular to the field. P equals to F over IL, but you must say perpendicular to the field. Perpendicular to the field. You must include the perpendicular because we ignore the sine theta. We ignore the sine theta. We assume it's perpendicular for the definition, for the sake of definition. So F equals to BIL. So B is force acting unit length of conductor carries 1 ampere of current placed perpendicular to the field. A lot of marks, maybe 3 marks of question. You must tell force acting unit length of conductor carries a 1 ampere of current placed perpendicular. Okay, electric field strength and gravitational field strength easy to define. Force per unit mass, you get the full mark. Electric field strength, force per unit positive test charge, you get full mark. You must say positive test charge. But magnetic field strength, force per unit length of the conductor carries a 1 ampere of current flow placed perpendicular to the field. Okay, that's magnetic field strength. Electric field strength, what is the unit? Electric field strength, what is the unit? Newton per coulomb. Gravitational field strength, what is the unit? Newton per kg. Magnetic field strength, what is the unit? Newton per ampere per meter. Newton per ampere per meter. Or we have special name called Tesla. Tesla is the special name for it. Electric field strength, just Newton per coulomb, no scientist name. Gravity, Newton per kg, no scientist name. But for magnetic field, Newton per ampere per meter, given a scientist name, it's Tesla. Representing, of course, Nikola Tesla, one of the famous scientists, very smart, who contribute to what? Tesla contribute to how the AC current to be transmitted around the world. So I think because it do something to current and involving motor, okay, involving generator. So magnetic field strength came after him, Tesla. So yes, I already explained this slide. So therefore, the magnetic field strength is Newton per ampere per meter. Unit is Tesla. So you need to understand what is meant by 1 Tesla. There is one pass here came out. Define 1 Tesla. So what is meant by 1 Tesla? So 1 Tesla means you put all numbers. The magnetic field strength said to be 1 Tesla when 1 Newton of force experienced by 1 meter length of conductor carries 1 ampere of current flow placed perpendicular to the field. We just put all numbers, all with 1 of magnitude. Again, what is 1 Tesla? 1 Newton of force experienced by a 1 meter of length of conductor carries a 1 ampere of current flow placed perpendicular to the field. The field strength said to be 1 Tesla. Okay, so 1 Tesla is the uniform magnetic field which acting normally to a long straight wire carrying a 1 ampere current flow. Force per unit length is 1 Newton per meter. You can say force per unit length packed together also if you want on the conductor. Okay, it's Tesla. So the unit for Tesla is a very big unit. Okay, why I said big unit? Same like Farad, you know, the capacitor. 1 Farad is a very big unit. So big magnet can produce a field of 0.1 Tesla, big magnetic field. While the electromagnet are capable to produce 1 Tesla. The Earth magnetic field is very weak. It's only 50 micro Tesla. Earth has a weak magnetic field, 50 micro Tesla. Okay. But now currently, where do you can find very strong magnetic field? You want to get a very strong magnetic field, where you can find it? In anyone? Where do you get a strong magnetic field? Which in school or where? In hospitals. Hospitals having the strong magnetic field. MRI. Magnetic resonance imaging using the strong magnetic field. The current MRI uses is around 3 Tesla. The current magnetic field we use in MRI scanning is 3 Tesla. I think that's one of the strongest we have on the surface of the Earth, about 3 Tesla. Okay, used by MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Okay, so 3 Tesla. So the unit Tesla is a very big unit. Okay, 3 Tesla is the largest we have found in hospital and around the world. Okay, so now one example, how to use F equals to BIL sine theta. You look at this question and the solution. Does it make sense for you? Okay, so they said a conductor carries a 10 ampere of current. Okay, carries a 10 ampere of current. So this is your current I, and the length is 2 meter. It's placed in the field of magnetic field strength of B of this much, 0.15 Tesla. What is the force on the wire if it places right angle to the field? So if you give right angle, the sine theta is become sine 90. So BIL, so it's 3 Newton. The force is the largest. So the angle is between the conductor and the magnetic field B and the I. If it's 45 degrees, then what happened to the force? The force is it upwards or downwards? FBIS is upwards. FB BI. So sorry, the force should be downwards. Force should be downwards by using Fleming left hand rule. B is to the right, I is upwards, so force is downwards. Okay, what happened to the force when the 45 degrees, the angle is reduced from 90 to 45 degrees, so it becomes 2.1 Newton. Okay, the force which is push it down become weaker. It's become 2.1 Newton when the 45 and the angle between the current and magnetic field is reduced. When the current and magnetic field is the same direction, then the force is 0. And there is no force will be exerted down. Force by the magnetic field is 0. So, conclusion, you want to get the maximum force, make sure the direction of the current flow and the magnetic field is always 90 degrees, you get the biggest force. Okay, you get the biggest force, magnitude. Okay. Okay, so another one, something learned from this slide. Look at this conductor. The conductor carries a current downwards, carrying a current of I. Okay, And there is a small region about 20 centimeter of region, magnetic field exposed to the conductor. Total length of the conductor is 90 cm. It's 90 cm. They're asking, find the magnetic force exerted on the conductor. Only 20 centimeter of lies in the magnetic field. So we assume the current and the magnetic field is 90 degrees. Okay. So sine theta, we take it as 1. So we ignore the sine theta. So the force is BIL, but the trick here, the length you must use is only 20 centimeter. Only 0.2 meter is used. Another trap, please put meter. And B is 20 Tesla and I is 0.5, so you get 6 Newton. So what you learn from this slide, only the length within the magnetic field to be used in the calculation, not the entire length of the conductor. So 6 Newton. Okay, so BIL sine theta. Sine theta here 90 degrees. Okay, any question from this slide? I hope. Okay. Okay, another type now. Okay, BIL sine theta. Okay, read the question first. Try to understand the question and look at the solution. 1 minute for you to understand the question and solution. Okay, so got the idea. Okay, this is radial field, we call it radial, because the field is like going out from like it started from a point. The north pole is at the center and the south pole is at the side. So the field line going to be come out from the surface 90 degrees, reach the other surface 90 degrees. So it's going to be a radial field. There is this plane view. Plane view means it's a top view from the top. Plane view. So the a ring was dropped. The ring carries a current of I this way. So which direction? What they want? Find the magnitude and the direction of the magnetic force acting on the coil. If a 1 ampere of flow in a clockwise direction through the coil. Okay, first let's get the magnitude. First, length of one length of the coil is 2 pi r. So because the coil has how many turns? The coil has 100 turns. So 1 turn is 2 pi r the length. Because you got 100 turns, you need to get the total length and total length of inside the magnetic field. So 100 times 2 pi r, you get the total length. Okay, total length. So the force on the magnetic field exerted is B. B, of course, 0.5 Tesla watt. I is 1 ampere. The length is the matter now. Length is the number of turns times the circumference. And 2 pi r. 2 pi r times 100 gives you the total length. You get the force experienced by the coil upwards. The sine theta, we take it as 90, because you see here, let's say we consider this point here on top here, south, the current is moving to the right, but the magnetic field is upwards, so it's found to be 90 degrees. The magnetic field line and the current is 90 degrees, always 90 degrees. You see this direction, the current is outward, the magnetic field is outwards, the current is this way, it's 90 degrees. Therefore, theta is 90. So sine theta is 1. Yes, 62.8 Newton is the force experienced by the coil when it dropped inside this magnetic field. Okay, now the force, is it coming out of the page or going into the page? So how do you figure out this? Is it coming out of the page or going into the page? So how do you find? You select one point. Maybe you select here. Select this point. Current is going where? Current is going down. Okay. Where's your magnetic field? Magnetic field is to the right. Magnetic field is to the right. Use your Fleming rule. Fleming left-hand rule. Check the direction of the force. Your index finger must point to the right. Your middle finger must point downwards. Your thumb point where? Should be
Upwards.
out of the page. Out of the page. Okay. So it should be out of the page. Positioning or Fleming left hand rule. So Fleming left hand rule, the force is directed outwards. So this how what something you learn here is, I think, the number of turns. If you have a number of turns, you need to start times with the circumference to find the total length. That is something new. What else new here is first time you come across with the red dial field. The field is like started from a single point. That's something new. Okay. Okay. So next is this question. Okay, read the question, look at the solution. Any mistakes in the solution? Okay. So I hope you understand the question. So here they put what? A diagram shows a straight current carrying conductor of length of 0.2 meter, 0.2 meter, mass of 660 gram. The wire itself is 60 gram of weight, the mass, placed in a uniform magnetic field of flux of 0.5 Tesla. This rod was placed on a magnetic field, as shown on this diagram. Okay, oriented horizontally to the Earth's surface. So the magnetic field is going into the page. Like that just now, you see the field is going into the region. The rod is horizontal. Of course, what? This is your land. Let's say this is the Earth. This is the equator. You are standing here. Everyone having class here now. You are standing here. Okay. So now you are standing. You are in front of the laptop. Tell me which direction your magnetic field is acting on you. Is it vertically downwards or horizontal for you now? Tell me, your magnetic field now you're experiencing by the Earth, is it vertically downwards or is horizontal to you? The magnetic field line. Because Earth, right? Earth, we are at the equator, we are here. Okay. So Earth magnetic field is going like this and going parallel to the equator. So the Earth magnetic field is horizontal to us because we are at the equator. Okay, so the field line is horizontal. So if you place a rod horizontal here, according to this question, we put a rod horizontal here, the field line going to be like going inwards. If you view from here, you view from here. So the rod is like this. The magnetic field is like cross going into the page. So magnetic field is horizontal. Okay, you put a current this way. Current is this way, and magnetic field is horizontal this way to the left. Let's say. The rod experiences the magnetic force which direction? Okay, draw back here. I think it's quite messy. This is the rod I. The magnetic field is horizontal here. B. Okay. This is your Earth. The Earth is here. Okay, tell me which direction the magnetic force acting by this rod? Upward or downward? Fleming left-hand rule. It's 90 degrees. So the force is going to be upward, right? It's going to be upward. So the rod will experience a magnetic force upward. So the question asking, calculate the conductor is balanced by magnetic force exerted on the conductor. Okay, the magnetic force is such as the magnetic force balance the weight of the conductor. So they're asking how much of current need to be applied so that the magnetic force is balance the weight of the conductor. So that's the question. Calculate the current required to produce the effect of draw the direction of the magnetic force, magnetic field, and the weight. Okay, yeah. Calculate the current which makes the rod float. So Magnetic force must be equals to the weight of the conductor. So BIL must be equals to mg. Sin theta, we take it as 90 degrees. The theta, we take it as 90 degrees because we assume it's perpendicular. So we find the current. The current required to balance this rod is 5.89 ampere. Okay, 5.89 ampere. So we can make the rod float. Okay, any problem with this diagram, with this slide? Any questions? Okay, class. So this is a very good technique, and this is a very good technique to float a wire. So you see, if you have a wire in your home, a small thin wire, and you have a power source, make the wire perpendicular to the magnetic field. You increase the current in the wire can capable to float. But we can't do that at home because at home we don't know how much of current required. You can measure the current required because Earth magnetic field is very low. It's about 50 micro Tesla. The Earth magnetic field. Here they put 0.5 Tesla. It's quite big, but in reality, the Earth magnetic field is only 50 micro Tesla. So you can calculate how much of current required. The B is 50 micro Tesla. The length of the conductor you place, the current required, and the weight of the rod. I think you can make it float if the rod is very light, very thin wire. M is make it very small. You check the current, what the current required, you can make it float. We are doing this in everyday life. There is one main application of this system. Where do we make something float by using a magnetic field? Anywhere. Which application we use make something float by using a magnetic field? Where do we use it? Anyone? Where do we use a magnetic field to make something float? Where do we use it? In magnetic levitate train. Your bullet train used in Japan and China. The bullet train actually moving so fast, close to I think 300 over kilometer per hour, right? 300 kilometer per hour, if I'm not mistaken, more than 300 kilometer per hour. I mean, from KL to Ipoh, a bullet train can take, I think, it's a 220 kilometer around Ipoh to KL. So divide by 300 kilometer per hour. I think the time you reach from Ipoh to KL is around about 40 minutes, maybe. Around 40 minutes you can reach KL to Ipoh. Okay, it's very fast. The MLT, the magnetic levitate train, the train is actually floating. Floated by what? Floated by a magnetic field at the wheel. There is a magnetic field applied at the wheel, make the entire compartment of the train to be floated. So friction is zero. So a small thrust applied, it can move forward with a high velocity. So MLT. This technique was developed by German. But German found it's quite expensive to build one. Then later Japan bought over the technique and they made a bullet train. So now we have bullet train in Japan and China, I think. China also a lot. Okay. Yes, a very useful idea. Floating an object and make it move forward with zero friction. It can move very fast. Okay. Magnetic levitate train. Okay, so yes, go to one question. Okay, I go to the word file. Okay, your magnetic field, the word file. The next part, force on a current carrying conductor. F equals to BIL sin theta. So remember the which finger, which represents what quantity. Then definition of magnetic flux density we done just now. Okay, force experienced by a conductor, a unit length, perpendicular to the magnetic field, carry a unit current. You can put 1 meter, 1 ampere also can. So these are the different magnetic field. Earth magnetic field is 50 micro Tesla. Gigantic stars can produce 20 Tesla. So Tesla is a big unit. Okay. Okay, now these are the questions. I don't want you to do all the questions. You can try later. But the question I want you to do now is the question number 2, this one. Okay, class, come give a try. This question now. I give you 1 minute. Get the working, get this value. F equals to BIL sin theta. Okay, 1 minute for you. Okay, so managed to get the answer. The same concept just now we saw just now the working, wire of radius of 0. Oh, this is slightly different. A wire of radius of 0.1 cm can carry a current of 1500 ampere. The density of the wire is 8600 kg per meter cube. Okay, the question is, in what field must the wire be placed so that it levitates? That is, it floats with no visible means of support. Levitates, floating, magnetic levitate train. But here, something new is they give the radius of the wire. So the radius of the wire is found to be 0.1 cm. And the density of the wire given 8600 kg per meter cube. Okay. So question is, what is the magnetic field need to be applied? What is the magnetic field need to be applied? What magnetic field need to be applied so that this wire floats? Okay, floats. So when it floats, what equals to what? Of course, the magnetic force must be equivalent to the weight. That's the idea. So the FB, the magnetic force, must be equal to the weight of the wire. So you have to start working from here. The magnetic force is what? BIL mg. You're looking for V. So B is equal to mg over IL. Okay. Do you have all the information? Gravity, you know. I, do you know I? Yeah, I, you know. 1500. L, you don't know. L, you don't know. Mass, you don't know. But radius, density given. So how do you do this? Mass, because density given, we change the mass to density form. So, okay, let me do here, sorry, let me do here, this side. So B, because density is given, so we change the mass to density. So how you change? It's density times the volume, density times the volume, gravity, IL. So now we know density, gravity, I. We don't know the volume, we don't know the L. So we must do something. Volume, you change to what? Because this is what? This is a cylinder. So the volume you change to a cylinder. Cylinder. What is the cylinder formula for volume? Pi r squared h. H in this case is the length, right? Length. So IL. Yeah. Now we can find the L and L cancels. So you get the answer. So it's rho pi squared r g over I is your magnetic field strength required. Okay, sorry, not pi squared, pi r squared. Pi r squared, L cancels, G over I. So you put all the information. Now you know density, you know the pi, of course. R, you know, gravity, you know, I, you know, so you can find the magnetic field. So you should get this answer. Okay. So when a wire floating, the starting to do calculation is the magnetic force balance the weight. Then you get the force. So anything you don't understand, any parts? Okay, so I assume that you still cope up with what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so this floating, one of the use of magnetic field used in the magnetic levitation. Magnetic field is used to float something. Okay. Okay. So we successfully done the second part. Okay. Second part is what? The second part is force on a current carrying conductor. When a conductor placed in a magnetic field, force is exerted. Which direction is the force exerted? Fleming left-hand rule. Now, how do you find the magnitude? BIL sin theta, something new, A levels, and the unit is Tesla. Okay, so let's move on. This I skip this. You can with this. Okay. So now, okay, now we know Earth magnetic field is. Let's say we don't know how much the Earth magnetic field. You want to find magnetic field strength of a magnet. Okay, on your table you have a magnet. Let's say you have a bar magnet, a strong one bar magnet. You want to know how many Tesla is that magnetic field possessed by that magnet. Okay, what instrument do you use? How do you calculate the magnetic field strength? The instrument you need to use to calculate it is this instrument. A complex one, looks very complex. It's called current balance. So current balance is used to measure the magnetic flux density. Okay, a very complex one. Actually, there are two devices to measure magnetic field strength. This is a complex one, very tedious to be used, but still in your syllabus. That's why I have to teach you. Okay, but where we have another sophisticated instrument to measure the magnetic field strength. The other one is very easy to use, called Hall probe. Hall probe. We will be doing that a few slides later. Okay, but I don't know why they still want you to understand this current balance law. This is a very tedious, primitive way of measuring the magnetic flux density, but still in your syllabus, so you have to know. Okay, let's understand how this works. You see this diagram. This diagram, there is insulator. Sorry. Okay, there is a U-shaped insulator here. It's made of insulator. It's a plastic rod maybe. It's an insulator. It's pivoted at X and Y. It was pivoted at X and Y. And there is one stiff wire makes another rectangle shape. Conductor rectangle shape was placed like this. The insulator and the conductor makes like one complete rectangle. They are pivoted at X and Y. Okay, the X and Y are connected to a wire at the bottom. There is a battery supply. There is a rheostat. The current is allowed to flow from X to Y. You see the current here, X to Y. The current is allowed to flow. Okay, and at the side DC, we can hang some mesh if you want. It's called rider. Okay. Okay. Why we need this mesh? Okay. Why we need this mesh? You need to understand what is happening here first at AB. So the magnetic field strength you want to measure, you must make it like horizontal. The magnetic field strength must be horizontal. Horizontal. So you put these divides as such as the AB wire is like 90 degrees to the magnetic field strength you want to measure. This is very difficult, okay, to point. We don't know which direction, how well you can put the AB as 90 degrees. Okay. So we don't know where's the North Pole and South Pole because it's invisible. That's why I say it's very tedious. So, but you must make the magnetic field and the current is 90 degrees. Let the current to flow. When the current flows, there will be a force acting downwards. There will be a force acting downwards using Fleming left-hand rule. Right? The B is to the right. The I is going inward. Use Fleming left-hand rule. FBI. The force will be downwards. So there will be a force acting to AB downwards. So AB will be pushed down, pulled down, sorry. It will be pulled down. So when the AB pulls down, the DC going to move up, is going to move up. So what we do, we put some rider here, some certain mass to balance this rectangle, the pivot at the center. So you try to balance it. So this is actually a moment effect. It's a moment effect. Current balance, XABY is a conductor, while XDCY is an insulator. Both sections are merged and pivoted at XY. Initially, riders are placed on CD and AB to balance the frame horizontally. AB is placed current provided a horizontal magnetic field. When the current is sent to the XY, the downward magnetic force is produced. Okay. So it's actually a pivoting system. The magnetic force is acting on the right, and we put some weight on the left to balance it. The D2, D1 is the horizontal distance away from the pivot. So clockwise movement must be equal to anti-clockwise movement when the balancing happens. So F D2, the moment caused by the magnetic force, F D2 should be equal to mg D1. But magnetic force is BIL. So if we can find the B, this is how you find the B. Okay. So this called current balance technique. You have to know. So current balance technique uses what? I go to the previous slide. The current balance technique. Okay, let me rub this. The current balance technique. The current balance technique uses the moment technique to calculate the magnetic field strength. What is tedious here is the magnetic field strength must be perpendicular to the current flow. That's very difficult for us to position it. Okay. And you put a rider here to balance the system, then you can work out the B by using moment. Okay, any questions from this slide? How to find magnetic field strength? In exam, if they ask, you have to say use current balance. It's a primitive way of finding the magnetic flux density or magnetic field strength. We have another one device. Okay, if exam asks how do you find magnetic field strength, I think you say current balance. It's not wrong. You get marked. But I prefer you say another device, Hall probe. We will be doing that the few slides later. Okay, so any question from this? How to find the magnetic flux density by using current balance? Okay, so I believe you understand the concept. Okay, so this is one example of how do you use current balance. Okay, read the question, look at the diagram. Okay, it's a current balance. It was balanced at the P and Q. The insulator hanging a mass of 20 gram. This is the rider. And here, a magnetic field need to be measured. What is the strength of the magnetic field? The current balance is placed here, the DC. Okay, the magnetic field region is only 10 centimeter. And length here 18 centimeter, 15 centimeter. You have to know which length to use where. Okay. So when the current of 2.5 ampere flows into the direction of OCDP, the current flow here is how much? Current flow here is 2.5 ampere. 2.5 ampere is flowing. 2.5. Yeah, the magnetic from the magnetic field perpendicular to the solid indicate the direction of the force acting on CD. Okay, what is the force acting on CD by the magnetic field? Upward or downward? Use Fleming left-hand rule. The current is to the from C to D. Current is from C to D. Okay. Magnetic fields is this is north, this is north, this is south. So show your index finger to
Down.
this direction. So down or up?
Down.
Down. So the force is down. Force is pulling it down. Okay. So yes. So that's the first answer. The force is downwards. Okay. Now B, calculate the magnitude of the magnetic flux density. Find the B now. How much the B used? So use the moment technique. The moment caused by the magnetic force must be equals to the moment of the 20 gram. Okay, now tell me, what is the moment caused by the 20 gram? The 20 gram times the gravity times which distance? Which length? 15 centimeter, right? The mg times the length must be how much? Should be 15 centimeter. 15 centimeter. Put it in meter. The mass we know is 20 gram, change to kilogram, and gravity, you know. So this is the moment caused by the rider. Should be equals to BIL L. BIL, yeah, BIL times the distance, perpendicular distance. Here L and X is what? What is your L here? Anyone? What L? BIL. What is the length of the conductor to be used? What is the X to be used? X is the perpendicular distance. What L to be used? Look at this diagram. Which L to be used? 10 or 18?
10.
It will be 10. 10 to be used. So L is 10 centimeter. Because the length within the magnetic field is to be used. The length is 10 centimeter. And the X should be the perpendicular distance, 18 centimeter. So you can work out the B. That's the idea. So you get your B. So you go to the next slide. So you see the answer. So BIL 0.18 because put it in meter, and 0.15 put it in meter, you get the B. 0.654 Tesla. Okay. This is a very important equation you must make. Okay. So that's B. Now look at C. State two ways in which you can reverse the direction of the magnetic force acting on CD. How you can reverse the direction of the force? How you can reverse the direction? How you make the force acting upwards?
Change the component.
Change the
Direction of current.
yes, good. Change the direction of the current, or another one way. Yes, that one way. Another one way, change the polarity of the magnetic field. Change the direction of the polarity of the magnetic field. Change north and south in opposite direction. That's another way. Okay, reverse the direction of the current or reverse the direction of the magnetic field. You can change the direction of the force. Okay. D, suggest way in which you can balance the rectangular frame when the force is reversed. When force is reversed, how you can balance it? Then the rider you can't hang at the other side. You have to hang to the CD side. Okay, removes the sand from the tray and place weight along the CD. So you have to put the mass at CD. If you put mass at CD, then the length of MGL, not anymore 15 cm, it will be like 18 cm. Okay, it will be 18 cm. Okay, so this is one application of current balance. How do you measure the magnetic field strength? Okay, class. So yes, So you learn a lot today. Okay. So just recap. So what you learned today so far? You learn about first thing, magnetic field pattern. You learn about BIL, F equals to BIL. These two you learn. Okay, now the last one for today's lesson, I think I include this also, force on a moving charge particle. Okay. So concept of magnetic field, the pattern you learn, the three patterns, and F equals to BIL. Then you learn about a floating effect. Then now you learn about current balance. The current balance use the what you call the moment technique to find the B. Okay, now the third one is force on a moving charge. Okay, this is another 15 minutes of lesson. We finished off this. Okay, force on a moving charge. Okay. Okay, another 4 to 5 slides, then we stop. Okay, but I know it's dragging more than 1.5 hours. Okay, into our seminar. Okay, just bear in mind, try to focus. Okay, so force on a moving charge now. Let's say you see this diagram, magnetic field is upwards. Let's say now a charged particle going into the magnetic field. The charged particle will experience force, right? According to, it will experience a force. Okay, in a moving charge enters a magnetic field, what will be the direction of the force? Okay, you use this diagram, you look at this, this diagram here. If it's a positive charge moving to the left, V is to the left, and the magnetic field is upwards, the force will be into the page, right? Okay, now be careful here, this is tricky. If positive is moving to the left, that means current is to the left too, right? Positive charge moving to the left means current is to the left one. Current and the positive charge direction is the same. So use Fleming left-hand rule. There's the force. I is to the left, FBI. So put your middle finger to the left, and your magnetic field is upwards, vertically up. Your index finger is upwards. So your thumb going to point inwards. Your force is inwards. The positive charge will experience a force inwards. It is not tricky. Positive to moving to the right, current you point to the right. But it becomes confusing and come to negative charge. You see negative charge? Negative charge moving to the right. That means current is to the right or to the left. It's negative charge moving to the right means current must be in opposite direction. Current is to the left. This is the trap. Okay. Negative charge moving to the right. Don't put your middle finger to the right. Don't point the current is to the right. The current have to be to the left. Negative move to the right means current is to the left. Okay, this is the trap. So use a technique again. Current is to the left. Magnetic field is upwards still. So the force acting on the negative charge particle is also inward. If it's moving to the right, if it's moving to the right, current must be to the left. Okay, important. Use Fleming left-hand rule. The force is inward. Okay, that's what I want to point out. So you see this diagram here. Yeah. Do you agree the force is outward? Negative moving to the left. So current will be to the right. Magnetic field will be upwards. So where's your force? Use Fleming left-hand rule. FBI. Force must be out of the page. You have to be quite correct with your Fleming left-hand rule. You know this technique since your O level, I think. Okay, so use it back. So electron move to the left means current is to the right. Okay, if positive move to the right means current is to the right, same direction. Okay, so this is the important thing. Apply Fleming left-hand rule. If it's negative charge, the direction of the force will be opposite. Okay, now what is the force acting a moving charge? Okay, the force formula for moving charge is not BIL anymore. We have a new formula for it. F equals to BQB. Okay. B is the magnetic field strength. Q is the charge possessed by the charged particle which is moving. B is the speed is traveling. But actually how the BQE is formed, actually from BIL. You see, BI is rate of flow of charge, QOT. L is speed times time. The length, distance travel is speed times time. Speed is length over time. So you substitute these two inside the formula BIL. The time cancels, you get BQE. This is the force formula to use to find what is the force experienced by a moving charge particle. Okay. So if the charge particle direction and the charge particle, the V and B is perpendicular, then the sine theta is, the theta will be 90. Okay, you see the diagram here. The force in the dependent on the angle. Yeah, it's dependent to the angle. If you see in this diagram, if the V and B is the same direction, the force becomes 0. Okay, the angle we are using is, if the V is here, the electron is moving this side, okay, and the B is here, this is the angle to be used to find the force, sine theta. If it's not 90 degrees, you have to use sine theta. So you look at this diagram, what do you understand from this diagram? When the B and V, the angle, and the B is at the beginning was here, 90 degrees, the force is huge, big force. When the V gets smaller, the length of the, you see the vertical arrow becomes shorter and shorter. The force magnitude gets smaller. Okay, explaining about the theta. When the theta gets smaller, the force gets smaller. But the direction of force is unaffected. Direction is still the same direction. Okay. So new formula in the list. BQV sine theta. Okay. So go to the word file. So force on a moving charge particle. When moving through the magnetic charge particle experience a magnetic force. The force at maximum value, the charge moves perpendicular to the magnetic force. The force is 0 when the charge moving along the field lines. So F equals to BQV sine theta. The B is here, V is here, this is the angle of theta. So you measure the force. The direction of force is unaffected when the theta change, but the magnitude of the force is affected. So BQV sine theta. Okay. A current consists of moving charge. It's Ampere's law. These two, although the exact form of force relation was not discovered until the later of 19th century, the force depends on the relative direction of the magnetic field. Yeah. Okay. So new formula BQV sine theta. So far what you learned? You learned F equals to BIL sine theta, and you learned F equals to BQV sine theta. BIL sine theta for a conductor with magnetic field, where's the force? Okay. BQV sine theta for electron or proton moving inside a magnetic field, what is the force you're going to experience? BQV sine theta. If electron moving to the right, the current is to the left. Okay. If proton moving to the right, current is the same direction. Okay, remember this. Okay, class. So I don't want to drag further. So we stop here. So far, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so I believe you have another class later, so take a short break. Okay, I stop here. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.